Yo Sonte me estaba simplemente moviendo y Sonte estaba, quería mirar su reacción de cómo reaccionaba y
I was just joking and I just wanted to see how they reacted.
nunca quería cometer ni un masacre ni nada de eso.
I never wanted to commit a massacre or anything like that.
Is the interpreter here on Rodolfo Aceves? Are you already on Rodolfo Aceves? And is the witness here?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Court is calling 2023 CR 4580, State of Texas versus Rodolfo Aceves. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Miranda Carrillo for the state of Texas.
Defense?
Johnny Cisneros for Mr. Aceves.
And are you Mr. Aceves?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we have an interpreter here. If you could raise your, excuse me, no talking in the box behind the court reporter. If you need to speak to your client while he's in the box, while we're on the record, you'll need to move to the other end. All right. Could you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Oh, no, that is so not right. You're interpreting. I'm sorry. My mind is in 3 different directions. All right. But you will tell the truth.
Yes.
I'll represent her.
You're going to represent.
I don't need to repeat.
Right.
I do, Your Honor.
All right. You're going to tell the truth that you will faithfully translate from English into Spanish and Spanish into English. So help you God.
I do, Your Honor.
All right. You can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Got it.
All right. So this hearing began on September 14th. And before the court made its decision, I wanted to hear from a witness. And my understanding that witness is present. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. If someone would call the witness in.
The state will call Ana Flores.
All right. And does she need an interpreter or no?
She does, Your Honor. So
Oh.
I don't know if Mr. Aceves can hear me from here.
All right, Mr. Aceves, are you able to understand my questions in English or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so that will make things easier. So if both parties can remember, because the interpreter is interpreting everything, to wait till she finishes interpreting your question, just pause a little bit. And then after she finishes interpreting what the witness is saying, just pause a little bit. That'll make her job easier. Could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I swear.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Ana Flores.
All right, state.
Morning, Ms. Flores. You've introduced yourself to the judge. Can you tell her how you know Mr. Rodolfo Aceves?
We work together
Where did you work?
in Amazon.
What did you do at Amazon?
Cleaning.
Is that what Mr. Aceves did as well?
Yes,
How long did you work with Mr. Aceves there?
between 4 to 6 months.
Did you spend each day with him?
When we had to work together 8 hours a day.
Who did you work under at Amazon? Was that someone related to Mr. Aceves?
Can you repeat the question?
Yes, who was your supervisor when you worked at Amazon? So during these 4 to 6 months, did you get to know Rodolfo and his father fairly well?
Yes,
And did Rodolfo ever do anything or say anything to you that was concerning or upsetting to you during the times you worked together?
yes.
Can you tell the court an example of one of those times?
Como le gustaban las armas,
He liked weapons.
cuando hicieron un simulacro, él dijo como, mira, es buena idea hacer por la matanza.
When they did like a drill or a simulation, he said it's a good idea to do the shooting.
When you say a drill or a simulation, were you referring to a fire alarm?
Yes, fire alarm.
When he made that statement to you, how did you feel?
Primero lo tomé como tonto
At first, I thought it was silly,
y comenté con otra compañera
and I talked to another coworker, and
no es normal.
it's not normal.
Was there a time when you dropped off your child at school and he was with you?
Yes,
Did he say anything concerning to you that time?
Bromeó diciendo que ya ahora sé a dónde voy a venir.
he joked saying, now I know.
Say what he meant when he said that?
Pues dijo como, oh, ya sé dónde voy a hacer la matanza y nada más le dije, cállate, no hables tonterías.
And he said, now I know where I'm gonna do the shooting, and I told him, shut up, don't say stupid stuff.
Did he ever say or do anything else like that? That worried you?
No, he didn't do anything like that.
Do you remember what day of the week it was that the fire alarm occurred?
Un viernes.
A Friday,
Did you work that weekend?
not on the weekend.
During that weekend, what was your thought process after hearing what he said?
Más era tonto lo que había dicho. Llegué el lunes al trabajo.
When I arrived to work on Monday,
Comenté con mi compañera.
I talked to a coworker.
Me dijo, eso es algo muy peligroso y lo tienes que reportar.
She said that is something very dangerous and you have to report it.
Did you report it at that?
Después vino el supervisor de Amazon que necesitaba hablar conmigo.
Afterwards, the Amazon supervisor came to me saying he needed to talk to me.
Was that supervisor different than Mr. Aceves' father?
Yes,
Did you have any concerns about reporting it, knowing that Mr. Aceves' father supervised you? Now, moving forward, do you have any ongoing concerns for yourself or your family after this is resolved?
yes.
Can you elaborate on that?
Como que él piense que por mi culpa él está aquí.
I'm afraid he might think that it's my fault that he's here.
No lo hice con una intención mala.
I didn't do it with a bad intention.
Me puso en una situación difícil
He put me in a difficult position
porque yo a él lo estimo y no quiero que le pase nada malo.
because I care for him and I don't want anything bad to happen to him nor me.
Hi, Ms. Flores. I just introduced myself to you in person, but we've spoken on the phone in the last few days, have we not? And I think we've
Yes.
spoken on the phone 2 or 3 times. And-
Yes.
And each of the times we spoke, we talked about the same thing. If you felt that this was serious or if he was just joking with you, and I can remember, or unless I misinterpreted, that you didn't report it because he was the type of person that would joke all the time, correct? Something to that effect?
Sí bromeábamos, pero cuando él hacía esos comentarios siempre comenté a él, eso no es normal. Siempre le llamé la atención como una mamá o una.
I always called it to his attention like a mom.
Y
I don't know anybody's thoughts.
And I believe we talked about that topic on one of the conversations we had, did we not? And I remember asking you if you felt he was more of if you had taken it as a joke or something like that. And you said you weren't really sure. And I'm just trying to be, and correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you weren't really sure if you were taking it seriously or not. If you would, yes.
I don't know how he's taking it.
Now, he has been on bond for 16 months. In about 4 days, it'll be 16 months. And he was ordered by the court to stay at home and not leave the house for anything. And you mentioned a little bit about concern for you and your family. He has not contacted you, has he? Has
No.
anyone else contacted you about him other than me?
he hablado con su padre.
I have talked to his father.
And how did that come about?
Porque usted me habló y yo hablé con marqué a Rodolfo y le dije, me están contactando sobre tu
Sí.
caso.
Because you called me and I called Rodolfo to tell him I'm being contacted about your case.
Y él dijo, pues haz lo que tengas que hacer y que sea lo que Dios quiera.
And he said, do what you have to do, and God knows what happens.
Y él de su parte me dijo, no estoy molesto contigo.
And he told me that he was not upset with me.
So other than your personal fear that Mr. Aceves Jr. could be upset with you, there's no indication or nothing that has happened to you to put you in any kind of fear other than you being worried that he may seek any kind of retaliation, correct?
Me han ocurrido cosas, pero yo
Things
no,
have happened to me,
yo no sé quién es.
but I'm not sure who it
Okay.
is.
But he's never contacted you and
No,
his father's not angry at you.
no.
Okay,
No,
and-
no,
And in fact, it sounds to me like his father and the family, because I've gotten to know the family, that they're religious. And do you believe that his parents raised him in the proper way?
I don't know.
Okay. And the last question I have for you, I believe would be the last question is, when I asked you what you thought about possibly him going to the penitentiary, and correct me if I'm wrong, I recall you telling me that you did not want him to go to the penitentiary, am I correct?
Yo creo que es muy joven
Correct. I think he's too young.
y a veces se nos hace fácil hablar.
And sometimes we think it's easy to just talk.
Sí, él tiene una oportunidad. Yo estoy correcta. Yo
And,
estoy de acuerdo.
and if he gets an opportunity, I would agree with that.
Okay, no more questions, Your Honor.
All right, any further questions?
No further questions.
All right, I just have one question. So you mentioned under questioning that some things had happened to you. Do you believe that Mr. Aceves is responsible in any way?
I don't know.
All right, thank you so much for coming down. All right, is there anything else from either side?
Just argument, Your Honor.
My client would like to address the court with your
Yes.
permission, Your Honor.
Yes. All right, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm not gonna ask you any questions. I want you to speak to her Honor. Tell her what you feel. We've discussed this. I didn't tell you what to say. Have I told you what to say? I've just told you to
No.
speak from your heart. Tell her what you feel, what you want her to know about you, please.
Mi jurado, en verdad, yo pedí disculpas por todo lo que dije y especialmente a los familiares de ella.
Your Honor, I really want to apologize for everything I said, especially
Especialmente a Ana Flores y sus familias. Ven aquí a ponerse en terror y miedo.
especially Ana Flores and her family. I never meant to terrorize them or put them in fears.
Yo estaba simplemente bromeando y ella mira su reacción de cómo reaccionaba y
I was just joking and I just wanted to see how they reacted.
nunca quería cometer ni un masacre ni nada de eso.
I never wanted to commit a massacre or anything like that.
Fue muy estúpido
I was very
diciendo
stupid
eso. Me siento muy arrepentido por todo.
and I really regret everything.
Mr. Aceves, you heard Ana Flores mention a event in which you went to for child school with her. Do you remember that? And do you remember telling her that you knew which school to shoot up now after seeing that?
Your
school?
Honor, I don't believe Ms. Flores said that he knew what school. I believe she testified that he knew where to go. I think that's how she mentioned it.
All right, I remember all of the testimony.
Right.
My mind's a steel trap. So, thank you.
Fue una vez, pero no recuerdo la dirección ni el nombre de la escuela.
I only went once and I don't remember the address or the school number.
But do you remember making that statement to her?
Sí,
Yes,
Did you have another coworker named Perla Garcia?
no me acuerdo su nombre, pero probablemente sí tenía otro compañero.
I don't remember his name, but I probably did have another coworker.
Do you remember telling a coworker that her daughter should kill herself when the coworker was discussing
No,
her
no,
suicide?
can't do any kind of hearsay.
These are in the stipulations.
All right, and just so everybody knows, I've read the stipulations, I always read everything and read police reports.
Okay.
And I do it when I take the plea, and I also do it when it's coming up for sentencing. I read everything again. So I've read that and I've read probation's report. But you can ask your question.
No, nunca he dicho a alguien que se debe que suicidarse ni nada de eso.
I have never told anybody that they should commit suicide or anything of the sort.
Do you remember in this case being interviewed by the police after this incident?
Yes,
And do you recall discussing having researched prior mass shootings?
Es muy complicado. Es porque en YouTube siempre hay recomendación de noticias porque
it's very complicated because on YouTube, you always get a recommended news feed.
en las noticias, en los canales de noticias.
It's on the news channel.
Y siempre hay school shooting, massacres y eso, y por siempre morbo.
And there's always mass shooting massacres and you have like a morbid curiosity. And I look at them,
Simulando si yo lo haría eso,
but I was never simulating that I would do that.
pero fue algo como en el momento que intentaba explicar si ellos miraban que por qué estaba mirando.
It was a spur of the moment thing. I was trying to explain if they saw something like that,
Explicar que era solamente por curiosidad
and explain that it was just out of curiosity
y no para planear nada.
and not to plan anything.
And do you recall telling your coworkers that the Uvalde shooter was a hero?
Sí, pero eso era por una reacción de Ana Flores.
Wait, no, but that was just a reaction from Ana Flores.
Era una broma.
It was a joke.
No es mi héroe ni nada de eso.
He's not my hero or anything like that.
I don't have any more questions, Your Honor.
Any further questions?
Mr. Aceves, do you realize now that you said too much that can hurt you in your future?
Too
Sí,
much.
no estaba pensando en las consecuencias que podía ocurrir y
Yes, I said too much and I wasn't thinking about the consequences it could have.
ya sí comprendo las consecuencias que voy a la cárcel y nunca ver a mi familia más.
Now I understand the consequences that I could go to jail and never see my family again.
Now, you've been on probation for 16 months. and-
Counsel, not on
I mean
probation.
I'm sorry, on house arrest for 16 months. Full house arrest. Have you ever had any violations during the 16 months?
No he tenido nada, hasta era bien precavido que no cometía ni un error para que pensaban que yo iba a hacer algo.
No, I have not committed any violations. I have been very cautious, so you wouldn't think that I have done something.
And because of that, you've lost your credit rating. You've lost your vehicle, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong in this thing. Obviously, you've lost your job. You haven't been able to go out to look for a job. And all this is correct.
Yes, that's correct.
And because of this, you've seen how something so stupid as saying something like that can affect you for the rest of your life.
Debo como casi $10,000 en total.
Yes, it can affect me. I owe like $10,000 in total.
En 2,000 en la tarjeta de crédito y 5,000 en el vehículo
5,000 on the vehicle.
y como en el tiempo eran como $3,600 por el GPS.
And at the time, it was like $3,300 for the GPS.
Can you promise the court, Her Honor, that she will never see you here again should she give you deferred adjudication?
Nunca cometí ni un crimen honorado.
And I promise I will never commit a crime and I will be an honorable citizen.
I'll pass it with you, Your Honor.
Any further questions?
Briefly, Your Honor. Mr. Aceves, how many firearms did you own prior to this incident happening?
Eso era uno.
It was only one.
So if the police had found both an AR and a shotgun in your room, did not both of those belong to you?
No,
It wasn't a shotgun. It
no,
wasn't their
air
rifle.
rifle, sorry. No, air, it's a pebble gun or something like that, a pebble rifle.
Pellet.
Pellet, yes,
It was a pellet gun or something like that.
not a shotgun.
When was that AR purchased?
En el mes de febrero,
Your Honor, interpreter and petition.
All right, if you'll repeat, please.
oh, sorry, en
February, in the month of February.
Was that the same year that this incident occurred?
sí, pero nunca fue intención de comprarla para planear una masacre y nada de eso.
But intention to purchase it to plan a massacre or
Tenía
anything.
19 años y quería comprarme una pistola porque cosa más, me gustan mucho como mirar TV shows de
I was 19 and I wanted to buy a gun because I love watching TV shows about
como de zombies, como de The Walking Dead.
like zombies,
The
like
Last
The
of
Walking
Us, y
Dead.
eso. Y ahí son uno que puede imaginar como que debes que estar preparado por cualquier situación,
Situation.
aunque no puede, definitivamente no ocurre porque es ficción.
But
Pero-
of course not because
Pero no podía comprarme una pistola porque era menor de edad, debía que tener 21 años,
but I couldn't purchase a gun because I was a minor. I had to be 21.
así que compré un rifle.
Bought a rifle.
So are you saying you couldn't purchase a gun at 21, but you could purchase a rifle?
Yes, that's why you can say that's legally. what
Yeah,
you-
I know the law. That was sort of a rhetorical question,
I'm sorry.
you know. So are you currently 21?
No,
Still 20?
No.
sí, no, sí, mi jurado.
Yes, Your
All
Honor.
right. So a lot of people will say, sometimes, oh, I've said before, how you say I could just kill that person. And honestly, I don't know anybody who's ever said that about somebody else. So what were you thinking and why would you think this would be a joke?
No quería como hacerle que sí le voy a comentar hacer, era
I didn't want like to make that comment. It was just to say it for a reaction.
Okay. All right. So I will listen to your arguments, but this is what I want to tell both of you when you give me your argument. So my job as a judge is not like the Minority Report with Tom Cruise. I can't see into the future. I don't know what's going to happen. I know, State, you're asking for 10 years prison for a 20-year-old for threats. And I've seen cases where people have made threats against a single person and people offer them deferred or people offer them probation. And I know that's not you, but I've seen that happen. In this case, State, you're going to be asking me to send a 20-year-old to prison for something that I'm assuming you're doing it because you think, one, that he could end up committing this. But what I see is a 20-year-old, and if I send him to prison, and let's say I send him to prison for 5 years or 10 years, and he does all his time at the prison. So let's say he goes in at the age of 20, he's there for 10 years, he gets out when he's 30, they offer him parole, he says, no, I don't want parole. And so he gets out of prison at 30 years old, and he has no supervision, and he can do whatever he wants to do. Then we're right back here. I personally don't think that solves the problem that we have before me. And I will tell both of you, I've read all the stipulations, I've read everything. And based upon what I'm reading and the fact that he has no criminal history, 10 years is too much time for what he's charged with and for what he potentially was saying he was going to do, but didn't do. And maybe he was going to do it, but he was stopped before doing it. I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. What I am thinking of doing is granting his application, keeping him on deferred for 10 years. He will go into custody today because you're going to go to state ISF cognitive if that's available. If it's not available, we're going to see about some type of, I don't know, mental conditioning or something. I would order that he not to have any possession of weapons. He would still remain on GPS. GPS would be full house arrest, then slowly, maybe he can get a job, then slowly lower down the conditions on that. I would have where he's not to appear or not to reside within a certain place of schools, that he would not be allowed to work or go to Amazon. That's what I'm thinking. And if there's a reason why I should not be thinking that, or someone has something potentially to change my mind about that, I'm more than welcome to hear the argument. But either way, he would be going into custody today.
Your Honor, much brighter than I am.
Oh, no.
And I appreciate and I respect your decision, and I think that's a good thing for him. I don't think he needs it, but if the court needs it, then I'm okay with it. I've gotten to know this young man over the last 16 months. And I'm gonna get emotional because I've gotten to like him because he really is, thank you. He really is a good young man. He really said something stupid. And it's not too often in my 35 years of being a lawyer that I get emotionally involved in a case. They tell you not to. But when you really believe in someone, when you really believe that they were acting stupid, for this to happen to them, it's like, what did you do to your life, son? And that's how I feel about him. I would have liked to have seen him just walk out with me. I know in my heart that you will never see him again, but I respect your decision and I'm okay with it.
All right. Well, the court's concern is obviously for somebody to even jokingly say this, there's something mental going on. And I don't, if I had a program that was a free program that was available where he goes into a mental facility and they work, they educate, I would send him there, but I don't have that. If somebody has that and they have where it's private or it's free or somebody's willing to pay for it for him, I would reconsider doing that instead of ISF. But I think right now, because part of my job is also to protect the public. And if I had a crystal ball, it would be great because I could say, this is what he's going to do in 3 years. Or if I had a crystal ball and I would say, send a 20-year-old to prison. And we all know prison life, even Bexar County jail life is not the best life. He's young, he's thin. We already know what's going to happen at prison, potentially, because everybody can't watch people 24/7.
Right.
And I am wondering, sending him to prison for 10 years, what is that going to do to his psyche? And how is he going to come back out of prison into society? And are we going to have an even bigger problem? So I'm trying to put some safeguards in place and then state if he violates GPS in any way that I'm going to give him, if he doesn't report the way he's supposed to, then the full 10 years is there. I will put in place that there, wherever he lives, if he's living with his parents, there are to be no weapons in the home. And I'm going to put in place sort of similar to sex offender registration, even though this is not a sex case, that he has to give probation, all the computer access, phone access, any electronic access, so that they can be aware of what he's looking at and what is happening. I just think in this case, 10 years prison for a 20-year-old. And I realize what could have happened, what may have happened. So that's where I am. And the reason, and I struggle with this case, and I thought about this case from when you all were first here till now about what potentially would be the right decision in this case. And it's a very difficult case. And I know it's a difficult case for the state. And state, I do know why you're asking for the 10 years, because something catastrophic could have happened. So I do understand.
And I respect her for that. And just one more thing, if I may. It's been comforting for me to know that he's been on full house arrest for 16 months. 4 days would be 16 months. He didn't even walk out the front door. And I think that goes to show you that I feel that he's going to be successful in this program. We appreciate what you're doing for him. I just have one question. How long is this going to take? I don't understand. I don't know.
Probation will be able to let you know how long it will take for him to get transferred to state ISF. But again, if you and the state want to confer and there is some sort of inpatient cognitive treatment for him that is not at the state jail or not at the prison, you can let the court know. The court will consider that. But my thing is, he needs to be worked on internally with the mental that's going on. And I see there are some mental health issues, but DDRF and Mick, they say he's not eligible.
Right. I understand your decision, Your Honor, and I do respect that. And I do agree that some sort of inpatient time, if we're not going to send him straight to prison, is appropriate. I'm thinking back to what Mr. Porter had testified last week, that it remains to be seen whether this is someone who's done well on bond because they fixed the problem, or if they're doing well on bond because, as Mr. Aceves had testified, I've been cautious so you won't think I've done something. So I think that we do need as many safeguards as possible if we aren't doing prison, and short of that, to ensure that.
Well, my thing is we're going to do things incrementally, and we will have settings for this to come back to court. Once he's released from inpatient, we can have settings to come back every 60 days, and we can discuss where we are, how he's doing, and do it that way.
One more thing. I keep saying one more thing.
Yes.
I love coming to this court, Your Honor, because you not only think of the public, but you also think of the welfare of the people that are before you. And that's just something that you've earned the respect of all of us in Bexar County, and anybody else that may know you. You're just a wonderful lady.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right. So I'm going to give these conditions and state if there are any other conditions you think would be helpful, just let me know. So we're going to do 10 years deferred adjudication. There is to be state ISF cognitive, and he's to be taken into custody today for that. Once he's released from state IS cognitive, we will set this, Vashawn, once he's released from state ISF, before he's released from the Bexar County Jail, let's have him brought over. Is that possible? Okay, well, let's do this. Once he's released from state ISF, we'll just set it for a hearing in here and we'll call it a compliance hearing.
Yes, ma'am.
So once he's released, we'll do a compliance hearing to maybe fine tune any conditions that we need to fine tune. So I'm going to say full GPS, we'll waive fees
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I was gonna ask.
or defer fees. And then Mr. Aceves, once you've completed the state ISF, or if there's an inpatient treatment through private means, once you completed that, we're going to come back and then we can address the full GPS. But my understanding from working in different treatment courts, you can't go from rigid to all of a sudden you're free. It's sort of like when you have children and you have them on this rigid schedule, then maybe you send them off to college and no supervision. So we'll do full GPS. There's to be no weapon possessed, and there's to be no weapons wherever you're living. So if you're living with your parents, there's to be no weapons in the residence. You understand? And to the Mr. Cisneros, if you could let his parents know if there are weapons in the home, he cannot stay there.
Yes, ma'am. And Your Honor, he was saying that he owes like $3,000 or something in the GPS fees. Is there a way we can waive those?
We'll deal with that when we come back.
Okay, thank you.
All right, there is to be all electronic, I'll say just items. So that means computers, cell phones, sort of like if he were on sex offender registration, he's to make sure that you all have all the information to look into those computers. So you're going to have to register all electronic items, and that's going to include the items that your parents have in the home. So if they have cell phones, iPhones, all of that has to be registered. You understand? And all computers in the home must be registered. There's to be no contact with Ana Flores or any workers from his Amazon location, because I know people will order off Amazon. So none of the workers from his Amazon location. There's going to be regular reporting. That can be by Zoom or in person. I'm going to want random field visits 1 time per month until further notice. And Vashawn, if you'll let probation know when we have the compliance hearing, if that's going well, we can reconsider. There's to be regular UAs, and we will deal with proof of employment. Vashawn, I'm not even going to put employment in right now because there's no way for him to get the employment. We'll put that in once we have our compliance hearings. Vashawn, is there anything else he needs? Mr. Aceves, I keep mispronouncing your name. I'm sorry. Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, I will obey all the conditions.
All right, State, do you think there's anything else he needs at this time?
No, Your Honor, but Miss Ana Flores did mention to me this morning that she would like the no contact order to extend to her family.
Yes.
Based on the concerns that she mentioned earlier.
All right, and there's to be no contact with Ana Flores's family.
And for the record, Your Honor, I'd like to tell Mr. Aceves something. And that includes your family, your mom, your dad, any family members or friends, okay? They cannot contact her at all. Okay?
All right. And then I'll put in here, there's to be no contact with elementary, preschool, junior high, high school. I think they now call it middle school. If he decides that he wants to maybe get his GED or get a college degree, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But for now, there's to be no contact with any schools. All right. Is there anything else from either side? All right.
No, ma'am. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So from here on out, everything that you do, you're looking at potentially going to prison for 10 years. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And I hope that you're going to be thinking about what brought you here. And it is never funny or a joke to ever talk about harming anyone. You understand? That's not funny.
Antes no lo pensaba así, No, sí se lo tomaba de una broma, pero cuando estuve 16 meses, sí,
Yes, Your Honor. Before I did think it was a joke, but I've been since for 16 months. I've been
pensando en las vidas humanas y
thinking about human life, and I'm sorry.
All right. Thank you both. Humberto Chavez. Yes, yes, you may. Thank you so much. Oh, you're so welcome. Are you all ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Bashan, this is a motion to revoke. Oh, no problem. Yes. All right, everyone, make sure you keep your voices down, please. Court is calling 2020 CR 2517, State of Texas versus Humberto Chavez. Can our parties announce for the record for the state?
Jason Gearhan, Your Honor.
Defense?
Adrian Bettis.
And are you Mr. Chavez?
And Your Honor.
All right, I'm showing you what's entitled motion to revoke community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
Are you the same Humberto Chavez who was placed on community supervision in 2022 CR 2517 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 less than? All right, does anyone want to make a oral motion to the motion to revoke?
Yes, Your Honor, oral motion to change the verbiage. States possession of controlled substance penalty group 1 less than 1. It says group, we're asking for less than 1 gram. No objections.
All right. So are you the same? Are you the same Humberto Chavez who was placed on community supervision in 2022 CR 2517 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 less than 1 gram on June 6, 2023 for a term of 3 years? Is that you?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
All right, state.
Yes, Your Honor. Violated condition number 1 on or about the 25th day of August 2023 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Humberto Chavez, committed the offense of evade, arrest, or detention in violation condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True, Your Honor. Your Honor, we'll waive the remaining violated conditions.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $1,000 fine?
I understand, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, everyone, just one moment. Can you mute us, please? I'm sorry about that. It's usually those are medical appointments, so I need to answer them because they're medical appointments for people in my family, okay? All right, so did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $1,000 fine?
I understand, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find violation of condition number 1 true. Is there an agreement?
There is, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
The agreement is to adjudicate guilt, to revoke the individual office probation, sentence him to 180 days in the Bexar County, I'm sorry, not the Bexar County, the state jail facility. And also the state will take into consideration the 2 new number 1s, clause numbers 715.
Everyone, please whisper.
715-748 and 715-749.
All right, is that the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Chavez, are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
I am, Your Honor.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
I am, Your Honor.
All right, the court will follow your agreement, sentence you to 1 year in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served, take in consideration 715-748 and 715-749.
Your Honor, our agreement was for 180 days.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That is.
Yeah, I was just seeing if people were paying attention. All right. I'll follow your agreement to 180 days in the state jail facility. Mr. Chavez, you do have, it appears that you have a drug or alcohol problem. If you would like, I could refer you to the therapeutic community. Whether they place you in the program or not is completely up to them. I don't have any jurisdiction over that. However, if you were placed in the therapeutic community, it will not extend your 180 days. So would you prefer that or no?
No, Your Honor, actually, I think I could just be done with.
All right. So here's the thing. If you don't get your life together, you're going to be back right here with another drug case. Do you understand?
I understand, Your Honor.
All right. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
I did, Your Honor.
All right. Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Chavez, I remember you, and I will tell you what is happening with your face. That has gotten bigger than it was the last time you were here. You need to go see a doctor and have that looked at. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you.
God bless you. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Elsa Morales, are we here for sentencing?
Yes, Judge, we're here for sentencing. You can see at the check page to apply for probation. There's one letter of support. I would like to submit support from her daughter.
Okay. All right. Who is the prosecutor on this case? They know. Yeah. All right. Court is calling 2023 CR 5382B. I'm sorry, what? Hi. There's a lot happening. So everyone, this is what we're going to do. When we're on the record, don't approach the court coordinator because they're too close. If you want to approach the deputy and have them bring your person out, you're more than welcome to do so. Court is calling 2023 CR 5382B, State of Texas versus Elsa Morales. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Defense?
Glenn paying for defense.
And are you Miss Morales?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you entered a plea on August 14th. You entered a plea of guilty, applied for deferred adjudication. The state is asking that your punishment be assessed at 1 year in the state jail facility. They're remaining silent on your recommendations and they're taking certain cases into consideration. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report?
You know, there actually wasn't a PSI. You asked to reset. We asked for the PSI to get the letter, then you just wanted to see the criminal history.
Yes. So is there criminal history available for the court? Thank you. All right, the court has reviewed the criminal history. Defense, do you have any witnesses?
Judge, no witnesses. Like I said, we just had one support letter on behalf of Ms. Morales. It's her daughter, stating how she helped, that Ms. Morales helps take care of children. And she was working as a home health care, also supplied money for the family. We're gonna ask that the court grant her probation in this case, and let her continue support of her family.
All right, Ms. Morales, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Elsa Mireles,
All right, why are you stealing?
that was a bachelor. I wasn't thinking.
Why are you involving a child in theft? Because it says that this was the MO. Go to the store, put things in a cart, and then have a child push the cart outside. So you're basically unwittingly making a child a criminal. Why are you doing that? Your attorney was not there, so he can't answer this question. You did it. You took a child in Target, or as we say, Target. You took a child there, loaded things in a basket, and for that child to know to just push that cart towards all points of sale tells me that somebody told that child, this is what's going to go down. We're going to put items in this cart and you just keep pushing it. So why? Yes. And how old was the child that you all involved in your criminal activity who now thinks it's okay to engage in criminal activity?
5 years old.
All right. So you took a 5-year-old. And what day of the week was this? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, what day?
I'm not sure.
All right. Was it a school day?
I'm not too sure.
All right. So you take this 5-year-old, walk me through it. So the 5-year-old is pushing the cart out and obviously police are called, right? And did they speak to the 5-year-old? What is the 5-year-old thinking? Do you know? I know somebody will probably object to speculation, but I just want to know, what was the 5-year-old doing when police are there? I'm assuming you all were placed in handcuffs.
I was already in the car. It was with his mother.
Mhm. All right. So it was you and his mother who was stealing. Is that what you're saying?
We were already out and the mom told him to leave it there and he did it.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Somebody else helped the little boy push it out.
All right. So someone helped the little boy push the cart out after you all were committing a theft from Target. And what items were you all taking?
It was stuff for the kids.
No. Don't put this on the children. What items were you taking?
Toys.
And what else? So you're teaching children that in order to get things, they should steal. That's what you're teaching. And you left out to the tune of $553.69. So how full was the cart that you were taking out? And then now I've received this letter where you took a child to help you steal, and somebody is saying that you're taking care of children and you're a home health care provider. I don't allow people in this courtroom who are on probation to be home healthcare providers. And who are you providing health to? Is this a relative?
No,
So I don't know how you're able to take care of children and be a home healthcare provider.
those are my kids that I take care of.
Mhm. I don't think you're a good candidate for probation because that your background is littered with theft cases and you're here on a theft enhanced. And how old are you?
43.
You're old enough to know better. It's not like you're 20 or you're 19 and you have peer pressure. So again, tell me, why are you stealing? It says here that you have a job, that you can pay for things. I don't
I
understand
didn't have
the
a job
stealing.
at that time.
I'm sorry, what?
I didn't have a job at that time, but that doesn't excuse.
And it certainly doesn't excuse involving a 5-year-old in your criminal activity. So again, why should I give you probation? The state is silent. Why should I give you probation?
Because I gotta take care of my kids. There's no fathers involved for my children.
Well, when you were using the 5-year-old to steal items, were you thinking about, who's going to take care of my children if I am at the Bexar County Jail? Were you thinking about that?
No.
And if something would have ended up happening, sometimes when people go to places and they steal, sometimes people end up getting shot. If that 5-year-old would have been shot, you know what would have ended up happening? You would have been on somebody's news, boo-hooing and crying about how it's unfair that your child was shot. So what am I supposed to do about this? You won't stop stealing. No, did you say that to the last judge, that you were going to stop stealing? How many times in your lifetime on this planet, as a 41-year-old, have you had criminal cases for stealing? Now, mind you, name them all because I've read the report.
I believe 5 cases.
And you have not learned anything from that. What you've learned, obviously, is to continue to steal and start this idea where you take a child in with you, you put items in a cart and you just have them pushing it out. In my mind, I can imagine this 5-year-old, because when you see children pushing carts, they're not even old enough to stand and look over the cart. They're just struggling, barely pushing it. And I'm always thinking to myself, why doesn't a parent help that child push that cart?
Your Honor, we told him to leave it there and he continued pushing it out. That's when the other 2 people helped him.
Oh, so now you're saying
Yeah, that's what we did.
you did not include him in your criminal enterprise.
We told him to leave it there and the other 2 people, random people, helped him.
Oh, so this is not a theft case. You were not intending to have him steal. Is that what you're telling the court? Are you telling the court that this was not a criminal enterprise, that you or somebody loaded a cart at Target with items, the 5-year-old was pushing it, and you're continuing putting items in a cart totaling over $500. And then as he's pushing the cart past points of sale, you're telling him, oh, just leave that there. Maybe you're telling him, we don't have money for that. We just loaded up the cart for some unknown reason and we have no money for that. Is that what you're telling the court? If not, let me know. I wasn't there. State wasn't there. Your counsel wasn't there. I'm just trying to figure out if that's what you're telling me. If that's not what you're telling me, say, Judge, no, that's not what I'm telling you. I'm not going to take that as a sign of disrespect. So are you telling the court that you all loaded up a cart of items at Target? The 5-year-old is pushing the cart and you're telling the 5-year-old, leave the cart there. We don't have any money for these items. And your intent was just to walk out. Is that what you're telling the court?
To walk out without the stuff, to leave the stuff there.
Okay. Is there anything else?
Was this testimony elicited from my client at this time? I think we need to ask the court to withdraw her plea.
All right, that'll be denied. All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is going to find you guilty. Court is going to sentence you to 1 year in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served. Take in consideration GJ 812055, JN number 2127782. Showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, I did.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record. Good luck to you. Do not steal. Do not take what does not belong to you, and do not involve children in your enterprise. Shane Rowley. All right, on this, there was some issue with competency being coded incorrectly. Where are we?
He still has not been evaluated by the doctor. We don't have a report. He's obviously on bond, Your Honor, and is just waiting for, I got with the magistrate court after the last court setting. They said that a doctor or somebody would reach out to him. They have good contact information for him. They have his phone number as well as his stepmom's phone number.
All right, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna reset this for 45 days. And once you get your reset form, counsel, if you could take him to the magistrate court and find out what's going on down there.
Sure.
And make sure that the court coordinator has his contact information. And then if they give you a date certain, if you'll come up and let the court know, and we'll change this date. Ms. Ferguson, I need a 45-day reset on Shane Riley. All right, so we'll come back on November 9th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Thank you for your patience. Who's here on Juan Carranza? Thank you. Yes, please. It's always great seeing you. I love the pen.
Good morning.
All right, so in this case, DNA.
And so just to give the court a status at the last setting, the DNA evidence finally came in. I have hired a DNA expert. I immediately sent that information to him. I have not yet gotten a report back from him. I would assume to get something back from him within the next 30 days. And so we're here asking the court for a 30-day reset.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on this case, give me a 45-day reset on Carranza. All right, it's going to be November 9th.
Okay.
So at that time, state, you need to be prepared to tender an offer, and then it's going to be a quick turnaround for a plea deadline date.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, is
Appreciate
there anything else?
it. There is not. May we be excused?
Yes.
Thank you.
As this hearing concluded, the judge made it clear that this case required balancing two difficult responsibilities: protecting the public while recognizing the possibility of rehabilitation. Throughout the proceedings, the court carefully considered the fear experienced by those who heard the threats, the defendant's emotional apology, his conduct while on house arrest, and whether strict supervision could better serve justice than a lengthy prison sentence. Rather than choosing the harshest available punishment, the court imposed extensive treatment, monitoring, and supervision, making it clear that this second chance comes with extraordinary responsibility. The judge also warned that any failure to comply with these conditions could have serious consequences in the future. Cases like this provide an important educational look at how courts evaluate public safety, accountability, rehabilitation, and judicial discretion when making life-changing sentencing decisions. Subscribe to follow this case and see whether Rodolfo Aceves successfully completes the court-ordered treatment program and earns reduced supervision, or whether any future violations bring him back before the judge for a possible revocation of deferred adjudication.